Hi there, my name is John Polson, and I wanted to just take a moment and just kind of introduce myself and let you get to know me a little bit, because there's so much going on in the world, and sometimes it's hard to kind of get to know people, and we don't really get a chance to actually meet people face to face that much anymore. And so how do you get to know people when you really don't get that chance to actually meet them? Well, my name is John Polson. I'm a real estate agent, but there's a lot more than that to me in my life. I'm a single dad. I'm a single dad to two teenage kids, and my kids have been through a really tough time over the last several years, because they're teenagers, right? So teenagers go through a tough time. 10 years ago, I went through a really difficult time following the Great Recession. I was a real estate agent during that period of time, and that was a really devastating time. So there was a lot of difficult things, and as you can imagine, it kind of brought a real tension and turmoil to my family, and the divorce ended up happening. So that's why I'm a single dad, but I really love my kids, and I really love my family, and I care a lot about people. So among other things, I love being outdoors. So I'm really drawn to the outdoors. I love being outdoors. I love doing things outside. It's hard for me to sit still. I get really energized by being active and doing things outdoors. Sitting behind a desk is something that really kind of drives me a little bit crazy, because I really need to be able to be engaged. I really like working with people. Being stuck behind walls, behind doors, in quarantine has been really tough for me, because I like being out and being around people. I am a little bit of an introvert, but I actually really need to be able to be around people, and actually just being able to talk to people energizes me. So I'm really good with spreadsheets, and I've had jobs where that's actually been a lot of what I did, and I kind of like it sometimes, because I'm an economist. I studied economics when I was in college, but I tell you what, sitting behind a computer staring at spreadsheets all day is something that will actually starve my soul. I have had jobs where that is what I do, is stare at numbers and stare at spreadsheets all the time, and as much as I enjoy Excel, staring at numbers and staring at spreadsheets is just not for me. So I do love playing with numbers, investing, understanding numbers and understanding investments and valuations, all that kind of stuff. It requires some calculations and spreadsheets sometimes, doing calculations with repair estimates and after repair values and home valuations, all that kind of stuff. But I actually really just need to be able to be out in the world and doing active things, and being in real estate really allows me to do that a lot. So I've been classified as a nurturer. So I've had people tell me that, and that's partly, I think, partly my personality type is somebody that is, I'm very empathetic. I can sympathize with anybody's situation, but I very much care for people that I work with. I think that anybody that works with me will know, and they'll be able to say very truly that I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that their interests are protected. And that's my job as a real estate agent. A realtor, we pledge to a code of ethics, and that's one of the things that I really love about being a real estate agent, is being able to look out for other people's interests. I have a need to help people. I have a need to solve problems, so I love solving problems. And that's one of the great things about real estate. Real estate is not just about houses. It's more about people, and it's actually more about helping people solve problems in their lives. I spent 16 seasons as a soccer coach for my kids. I learned so much about nurturing growth and teaching kids, while learning even more about myself while coaching those kids in those environments. So I love coaching, I love teaching, and that's one of the things I love about the real estate business, is when I have a client, I help walk them through the process. I'm educating them through the process, whether they're selling a home, buying a home, maybe buying a piece of investment property, or selling a piece of investment property, or whatever it is that we might be doing together. There's a lot of things in a real estate transaction that I have a lot of knowledge about. But ultimately, I want to help people. A real estate transaction tends to be the largest transaction and the largest financial decision that most people make in their lives. So that's one of the reasons that I think that it involves a lot of care, and I want to provide that for each and every person that I am there to help through the transaction. So as a real estate investor, I'm also a real estate investor. I understand all the different things that you can run into, the different outcomes. I understand exit strategies. I understand what the objectives of most investors would be, not necessarily inside the head of each investor, because each investor has their own objectives and there are things that they want to accomplish in life. But there's exit strategies with each transaction potentially. There's things about cash flows. There's things about valuations, ROIs, NOIs, cap rates, cash on cash returns. All these are things that I'm very familiar with, and I love working with numbers, like I said before, and doing real estate investing is mostly about numbers. It's not an emotional decision. Working with residential properties, however, is a very emotional decision, and that's where I can really help people through their decision processes. Because I've been through a lot, because I've been through things with the divorce, and we had to go through some very difficult times, there's things that I have learned through that process that I want to be able to help people that are going through those similar type of processes. I grew up in the country as well. So when I grew up in the country, my first property that I ever had anything to do with was a property that my dad owned. It was 13 acres out in the country outside of Blacksburg, Virginia. And we developed that property. When I say developed it, we did some clearing and we cleared a home site, and we actually built a home on that property. And it was really an enjoyable process. So I love rural property. I love working with rural properties. There's a specialized set of skills that are needed for when you're working with rural properties. So that's something I love doing. But there's people that are going through transition. I've lost very, very important people in my life, so I've been through a lot of those transitions as well. So whether you're going through a divorce, or if you have a home that you've inherited, or a loved one that's passed away, there's things that may need to be done that you need a specialist that can really help you walk through those processes and those situations. So that's me. That's a little bit about me, and I hope that I've given you something that will help you kind of understand a little bit more about why I'm in the real estate business. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out and call me. I am glad to talk to you about things. I get pretty busy, so I'll be glad to call you back if you're not able to reach me, but you can message me or you can reach out, and I'll be glad to return your phone call. So again, my name is John Polson. I am a real estate agent, but I'm a lot of other things as well. So I would love to talk to you, love to work with you. And if you have a chance, please reach out. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay blessed.